Well, good morning. For those of you who I've not met in person, I'm Bob Frank, and I have the privilege of serving as the president of the University of New Mexico. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedules to join us today for this economic summit. I know how hard it is to set a whole day aside from your urgent responsibilities, and I know some of you can't give a whole day, but I'm pleased that you can give us whatever of your day you can, and we're appreciative of the commitment you're making to investing in growing New Mexico's economy. As leaders, we're always confronted with the need to balance the urgent, immediate, and the pressing tasks with the long, important issues that require us to think deeply and thoughtfully. And economic development in New Mexico is a very important, even essential long-term need that we must address if New Mexico is going to be effectively positioned to capitalize on environmental changes that the new economy is bringing to fruition. As leaders, we're always confronted with the need to, as a public research university, UNM has a vital role to play in our growing economy, and we have a unique opportunity to contribute to a new model of economic development. My vision for UNM includes a new kind of leadership in regard to economic development, and I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you, especially this afternoon, about your ideas on how we can shape that role. We have a very full agenda, many people to hear from as we explore this important subject. I don't have to tell you that we're in a very challenging economic time in our country. These challenges are especially difficult here in our state. On Monday, the Albuquerque Journal will run an article describing the seesaw recovery of Albuquerque. Last week, the Journal ran an article stating we were 90th among the largest 100 metropolitan areas in the recovery from the recession. I know every New Mexican is not happy with that number. The way we have looked at economic development is changing. The old paradigms are breaking down. In one sense, that's not unusual. Evolution is a story of systems coming apart and being replaced by new ones. Later this morning, you're going to hear from Victor Huang, the author of The Rainforest, The Secret to Building the Next Silicon Valley. The model that Victor proposes will foster an ecosystem that fertilizes innovation and job creation in a knowledge economy is one that I find very intriguing and compelling. Knowledge jobs are essential for economic development because they nurture and develop spin-off businesses. My vision is one that we recognize and build on the great strengths we have here in central New Mexico to grow the economy and then further utilize the I-25 corridor. Albuquerque is the hub of the emerging knowledge economy here in New Mexico. Nestled at the base of the beautiful Sandia Mountains, we have world-class engineering, physics, and technology schools. We have top-notch research labs on our campus, and we have access to the Sandia Labs and the Air Force Research Labs just up the road. We have biotechnology resources, innovation incubators around the corner. Our Albuquerque hub is bustling with opportunities. We have what really enriches our states is not just the resources of our state's largest city, but the rich resources we have running up and down what I think of the spine of I-25, from Socorro with its riches at New Mexico Tech, down to Las Cruces with New Mexico State and its agriculture and research expertise. We have what you might think about as a rich spinal cord of synapses firing back and forth up and down the state that can create great opportunities for us. We have tremendous opportunities in our state, ones that position us for growth in this emerging knowledge economy. One of the things that I've been struck with over and over again since coming back to New Mexico is the great beauty and cultural richness that we have here. New Mexico is a desirable location. People want to move here. When I was in Ohio, people weren't so keen to move there. We have a flourishing and creative culture and arts community. Tourists and visitors know this well. We live in a beautiful and abundant state, a place where people want to live. Now we have to figure out how to create a compelling and magnetic environment for new jobs that we can redesign our economic ecosystem to be hospitable in this rich environment. We have so many essential elements for the knowledge economy ecosystem. Included in those strengths are rich, strong research universities, a research and teaching healthcare system, the power of our national laboratories, the entrepreneurial mindset of our business communities, the innovation of our high-tech industries, access to venture capital. Right here in central New Mexico, we have the powerful vortex of an innovation and potential entrepreneurial highly centered in the twin cores of our flagship-centered University with UNM and the health science centers. Equally importantly, we have in place the growth along the I-25 backbone that I just mentioned. Even more, we have leaders in our state government and our municipalities who see the vision, who are willing to partner with us. Leaders like Mayor Berry in Albuquerque, Mayor Swistack in Rio Ranchos, legislators like Tom Taylor, Jerry Ortiz-Apino, Brian Egoff, Larry Laranga, Tim Keller, and Jimmy Hall. We have created an energetic government who has created economic development, who is a leading light in the Republican Party. We have business organizations and leaders willing to step up and step out. We have the people with great ideas, innovators, just looking for the right opportunities to build new businesses. We have all the parts, and now it is time to bring those elements into a creative synergy. We have taken the steps, and now it is time to scale up our efforts and move the state forward. The challenge is to build our capacity so that we can step up to the grandness of our vision. We need the capacity at every point along the horizon, more innovators, more incubators, more venture capital, more educated knowledge workers to bring this vision to a tangible and real reality. To do this, we have to think differently, more expansively. There are many more moving parts to that expansion, and each organization has to take responsibilities for the part they play in this new economic model. Here at UNM, we can't do it all. We can do some parts of it. We can investigate and determine the specific areas we must do to assume our leadership roles. That's our goal for today. Many of you know that I've committed to investigating the first 100 days of my tenure here at UNM. It's a listening campaign. Today, we want to listen to what each of you have to say about your best ideas, and we want to bring those ideas together and work with you to create this dynamic ecosystem in this new knowledge economy. I want to just cite one example that all of you know a little bit about, but to remind you of how it worked as an example of what we might do here in New Mexico. In 1959, North Carolina was confronted with many of the same issues we are grappling with today. A low-wage economy was not producing enough jobs for the state's graduates. A new vision was required if North Carolina was going to foster economic development and thereby improve the quality of life in the state. The Chancellor of North Carolina State, together with a group of business and state leaders, produced the idea of a research park. They proposed that they would link the research strengths of the state's universities with the needs of the innovators and business developers. They got buy-in from Duke and the University of North Carolina and support from the investors. The process took focus, commitment, and time, but by the 1960s, the first company opened its doors. By 1965, the Research Triangle was beginning to grow and steadily, and today has more than 49,000 jobs and $2 billion in annual research, and development is conducted by its researchers, federal labs, and contract research companies. What a compelling story, a story of vision, drive, and commitment by leaders working together in tandem to catalyze economic development and create opportunities for the people of North Carolina. There are several other examples, but it is noteworthy that each University and Economic Development Investor Partnership is distinct, unique, and shaped by the ecosystem elements that emerge from that local environment. One thing is common to them all is that the leadership role of that community and those universities were unique to that place. Here in New Mexico, we have the extraordinary wealth of our universities and our leaders. The question we pose to you today is how can our universities, with UNM and our other research partners, play a role that can catalyze the development of New Mexico? What will it take? How can we do it? And how can we join together? So today we want to listen to your ideas, and we want you to tell us your thoughts and let us figure out how we can make a rainforest here in the desert.